Hey guys, welcome to Bow Hunting Soul. It's cold. It was like 28 degrees this morning, which I love. I love this cold front. I love cold weather stuff. But I'm kind of toasty right now. Not my head, but I'm wearing First Lite Uncompahgre, or unpronounceable as a lot of people call it. Now, this isn't a brand new review because there's all kinds of reviews on this jacket. It's been done for a while. They've got other jackets that have kind of supplemented this and come on down the line for First Lite. But I've had this jacket for 3 years, maybe 4. This might be my 4th season going into it. And I just wanted to kind of update you guys on how it's worked out for me, and some of the features, some of the things I like, and some of the things I don't like, which I think they've changed on some of the newer ones. So the Uncompahgre, we'll get right into this. This is what First Lite considers their their puffy jacket. This was they've got, again, newer puffy jackets that are thicker than this, but this thing is super light. I'm not going to go into ounces and all that stuff, but I mean it's feather light. You barely feel like you have this thing on. You pick it up and you feel like there's no way this thing's going to keep me insulated and warm. It's amazing. I've always said that this jacket punches way above its weight class. It's got a hood. I'm not a big fan of hoods unless it's like raining or something like that, or snowing, or I'm like super cold. I don't like having my vision restricted, though it does have straps where you can kind of cinch this and actually not only cinch this way, but you can actually move it up your head and down this way a little bit with this cord. I don't know if you see that right here. So you can actually kind of taper it to your head. I don't usually, like I said, wear the hood. I wish they had the hood that would either zip off or fold down and kind of snap, because if you are outside and it starts to drizzle or rain or whatever, I don't like water getting caught up in this, and you put it on and you just got a bucket full of water on your head. So I'll end up, like, a lot of times doing that. But the other features of this are they use a synthetic insulation called 37.5 by Kokona. Now, marketing wise, is a terrible marketing name, because people get confused. If they're used to like grams of insulation or degrees, like temperature degrees of insulation. So people see 37.5. Is that the weight? Is that the temperature? What is that? That's just the name, kind of like Primaloft. It's just the name of their synthetic insulation. So anyway, they need to do a better job of marketing their materials, because a lot of the people that are not into this kind of gear tend to shy away from it, because they're like, well, what the hell does that mean? Suffice it to say, it's warm. Now, this is not a jacket that I would wear just solely sitting in the tree stand or sitting at the base of a tree on a stump or whatever in late December when it's like 5 or 6 degrees out or whatever. But if you're even mildly active, if you do kind of any kind of spot and stock, or even kind of move around for like 5 minutes and stop, and move around for 5 minutes and stop for 5 or 10, this is just fine. I was actually wearing this late all through muzzleloader season, and in late archery season into the end of December last year, when it was like -5, -6 some days. Now, when you stop, you get cold after about 5-10 minutes, absolutely. But when it's like 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 20 degrees, you can sit with this thing, especially if you have like some sort of like insulation underneath. This is my Chama, also by First Lite, full length, long sleeve merino base. And it's actually, this jacket is cut for that kind of stuff, and this is an XL. It's cut for that, and it's cut for having another insulation layer, like a vest, like a fleece vest or something like that underneath it too. It also has what they call a shooter's cut. Okay, I'm making it kind of long like this just to elongate it, but the shooter's cut is, it kind of tapers, and it doesn't feel tight at all. It's not like you feel like you're putting your hand through a tube sock. But it's designed so that no extra fabric kind of hangs out while you're drawing your bow to get caught up in any of that stuff. It's really well thought out. The cut and the fit is amazing. The back here, it's not what I would consider a 3/4 length coat with a tail, that kind of swoops down over your butt, but it does, come down pretty good. So this isn't always riding up like this and making your back cold or anything like that. It's really well thought out. Really deep pockets. This left side pocket, actually, one of the features of this entire jacket fits into its own pocket. You turn it inside out, you stuff it into itself, and it zippers, and it becomes basically like a little pillow about yay big. Okay, so one of the amazing features about this is because it can get packed down so tightly and so small, there is no reason to not have this jacket with you. It could get cold on you, it could rain on you, you might get lost, you might have to spend the night, you might be out later than you thought, you might get turned around, whatever, you know, or even if you have one in your car, you break down. This is so warm. Okay, this is, I mean, I want to say it's a lifesaver, but it could be a lifesaver. It's just, there's no reason to not have this, even, you know, mid-season onward. So it's not waterproof, but you know, you can walk around it in a drizzle. I was out the other day, did a video on that actually. I don't think I posted that yet, and it was just blustery and drizzly and rain and whatever. And you know, I just pretty much sat like this and hunkered down. It's DWR coated, but it's not a full-on rain jacket. But if you're gonna walk around when it's snowing or misting or whatever, there's no reason not to wear this. I mean, it's just amazing. Now, some of the things that I don't like about it, and I think they might have corrected a couple of these. One, I think First Lite gear is some of the aspects of their stuff is a little, I'm gonna call them dainty. Okay, the zipper for one of them. This is a replacement zipper. What happened was this inner lining over here, this little inner flap, you know, always gets caught, kind of like, you know, you do with your it happens with lots of clothing. It happens with sleeping bags, and it got really jammed. It forced the zipper, I mean, it was stuck. And it was this kind of zipper here, okay, on the pocket. See that? See how fine that zipper is compared to the teeth on this thing? I believe they call this like a 5T, 5-tooth, whatever. I don't know how they count it per inch. I don't know. But this is like a sealed, almost got like a little rubberized seal to it. I think this and the pulls on it are a little too dainty for what most hunters are used to. I understand they're trying to keep water up, but for a non-waterproof jacket, okay, again, this is DWR coated, which is mildly water resistant, but it's not waterproof. Why even bother doing this? Well, imagine a full-length zipper like this, and it's really, I'm gonna say it doesn't go up and down very easily. It's kind of like hard to pull down, hard to pull up, and basically I had that zipper taken off because it wouldn't work. It was jammed. Took it to a seamstress, and then I had them sew in another one. Now, I believe in the past couple of years they have changed this zipper, and it's not like this anymore. It's like this, and it's a little bit easier to move up and down, so you don't have to worry about that. Another thing that I don't like, and I don't have the newest ones, and I think they've changed the lining, is this is white. Now, for us whitetail guys, we don't really want to be walking around with white. A, for safety. You know, through the woods, depending where you hunt, depending how many yahoos are out there shooting whatever moves. But the other thing is, you know, I really don't want this or, you know, the hood to be prominent, you know, especially hanging out like that, just so the deer don't see it. I think they've changed to a kind of like a tan, like a light brown or tan kind of lining inside in the latest versions, so this may not even be an issue. But these are some of the gripes I had with this one. So, but anyway, this jacket is held up except for the zipper, and you can get by on that if you're like super careful with it or with the newer zipper. This jacket is held up amazingly well. I go through a lot of like briars and stuff like that too, and a lot of complaints about First Lite stuff is that it pills and tears and rips too easily. Well, I really haven't babied this thing. I haven't, you know, gone, you know, chasing rabbits like you know, like a rabbit dog through like, you know, tangled brush or anything, diving head first. But I do hunt a lot of stuff where there's a lot of like you know, briars and snags and all that kind of stuff, and it's you know, like I said, I'm going on my 3rd season with this. I always have it on. You can, and it's big enough that you can have layers underneath. It's thin enough that you can have another layer on top. So a lot of times if I'm sitting late season, I'll have like a heavier coat, and you know, I'll walk in with that, you know, rolled up, strapped to my pack, and then I'll put that on top of this. It's just such a versatile piece of gear. So if you guys want to check this out, I'll leave a link. As always, I'm an Amazon affiliate, and if you are going to go check this thing out or feel like buying one of these, I greatly appreciate you supporting this channel and going through my link. I do get a commission, but I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it to do it. If there's one jacket that I would, you know, tell anybody to get, it would be this. Now, another gripe I forgot to mention is you can kind of hear, okay, it's a little noisy because of that DWR, and a lot of people, bow hunters, have complained that it's just a little too noisy for whitetail. Well, I don't know, maybe if it's like super like, you know, like 10 degrees out and super dry and cold in the winter, and you know, you're making a big swishing noise. I don't know. I think you can draw it and do things. The problem of it being loud is exaggerated, I think. It's certainly not quiet like a fleece, don't get me wrong. And there are quieter stuff out there, and maybe I'll try out some of those other pieces of gear from other companies too. But man, until this one gives up the ghost, I mean, I really love this one. So anyway, thanks for checking it out. I appreciate you subscribing. Share this channel. I'm trying to grow subscribers, obviously. I'm trying to spread the word, and leave comments. Let me know if you've had any good or bad experiences with any of the stuff that I review or talk about. Again, this isn't new stuff. This is just stuff I've had that I've actually put in the time and years, you know, in actual field use, and I'm finally getting to the point where, like, you know what, I'm gonna actually review this because it makes sense to tell people how it really works, not just like, hey, I just bought this thing and it's the greatest thing ever, but it's never been out in the field. I'm not like that. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.